Hello and welcome to this late afternoon taste challenge. I have two sour mash Tennessee whiskeys, also known as bourbon, but these are Tennessee whiskeys, which, like I say, is a type of bourbon. But it's going to be a good challenge. I have Nelson's Green Brier Tennessee handmade in a factory, handmade sour mash whiskey, introduced in 2014. It was brought back. Well, I don't know how close it is to the whiskey that was discontinued in 1909, but they did use a modified version of the old label. Nice looking label. This runs about $28.99 around. But I found it at Walmart for $10. Now, I don't know why Walmart was selling it for $10. I didn't ask them. I didn't go quiz them on it. I saw it for $10. I knew that was not correct or not normal. I knew it was abnormal. So I bought it. And it should last me a long time. I still have most of the bottle left. It's got a wooden cap. I think the cork is rubber, synthetic rubber, neoprene, that they used to make a couple of miles away from me, but they shut down that refinery. Yeah, neoprene. That's the kind of squishy synthetic rubber they use in shoe soles, tennis shoe soles. But my father says it's really toxic when they're making it, not when it's produced, when it's on the market. But he said to make it is really dangerous. He said he was always scared of those chemicals. He said he was glad when he didn't have to. He was glad that he never really had to go to that side of the refinery, because he said it was scary. All right. He dealt with enough scary chemicals on his own. All right. Here's George Dickel Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey Old Fashioned Cascade Hollow. Batch recipe. I don't quite know what that means. Aged 3 years. It says 3-year aged. The Green Brier is aged 2 years. I think I need to update my notes on that. No, I put it. Okay, Chris McCabe, I was back the last time you said that. All right, because I wasn't gone ever. Made a hiss. Now, when these whiskeys get low, they'll make a hiss. I guess air pressure builds up. And it's got a nice molded glass bottle. It's a liter bottle. A liter bottle. Now, this one is a little bit of a mystery. It's no longer produced. They said that for years on the George Dickel website, that it was out of production for the time being. They said it was they phrase it was currently out of production. But I think it's probably more like permanently out of production. But it's got a little write-up over here. Interesting. All about the distillery. Started in 1870. Now owned by Diageo, the world's largest liquor company these days. Then there's another bit of information about George Dickel. So it's a really nice bottle. Can't say it would be better if it was brown, but let me rinse it off. Okay, so the history of this product, the red label, George Dickel, is pretty confusing. Okay, thank you. Pretty confusing because I can't find out a reliable bit of information on when it was introduced. Well, let me show you all the Nelson's Green Brier website for a little bit. $34.99. You got to order it online. So by the time you pay shipping, it's going to be a lot. And it's like I said, it's $28.99 at Total Wine and More. So why would you pay $34.99 unless you're going? It's not that great. It's good, but I wouldn't pay extra for it. I think it's really most excellent, actually, but I still wouldn't pay extra for it because I got a lot of whiskeys I can go to Walmart right there and find, and they're an A also. It's not that hard to find a whiskey that rates an A. Just telling you. Corn, wheat, and malted barley. Yes. Corn, so it's a wheated whiskey, and it's got barley also. All right. Been on the market for 11 years. 11 years. 11 years. Now, the appearance. This one is very light gold. Well, amber gold, not that light. This one has a little bit more copper to it. The Nelson's Green Brier is 91 proof, and the George Dickel Cascade Hollow is only 80 proof, the minimum allowed. But it is aged a year longer, 3 years versus 2. They're both sour mash. They're both using new charred oak barrels. So that's the same. They're both made in Tennessee. That's the same. They're both charcoal mellowed. That's the same. George Dickel's chill filter, because that's their claim to fame. I don't know about the Nelson's Green Brier. Did they claim anything on that? There's a history of the company. Little brief history. No, they don't say anything about non-chill filtered, so I guess it's probably chill filtered. All right. So I had never seen George Dickel Cascade Hollow Red Label. Then I read about it, and it was a pretty common product at some indeterminate time period. Now, I'm not seeing any reliable sources on when it was introduced and when it was discontinued. Now, they're showing the trademark data saying it was introduced in 2018, the U.S. Trademark Office saying 2018. Another source, the internet, AI, they're claiming it was discontinued in 2013, but I don't believe that at all. You telling me it was discontinued 12 years ago? And I'm looking at this bottle. The bottle is saying, yeah, the 319th day of 2018. It's got to be right. 319th day of 2018. And with some other batch code stuff. But it's very hazy from sediment. It's a liter. It was $7.99 for a liter. $7.99. You heard me right, for a liter at Discount Depot. So obviously I bought it. And then I gave my friend David a gift. I gave him a bottle. That didn't last long. They blew through it. They thought it was really good. Now, and then the website was saying that it was currently out of production. And now the website doesn't even refer to it, like it never existed. So if you got some good information on it, let me know. I have enough left for probably about 4 more taste challenges, maybe more. Not in a rush to get rid of the bottle, although it is kind of big, takes up space, a liter. But that's one of the great finds that I've had over the years, to find a liter bottle of a reputable whiskey brand for $7.99. Oh, yes. But then, of course, Nelson's Green Brier, to find this for $10 is remarkable at Walmart. Thank you, Walmart. And they don't sell it anymore because they got rid of it. That's why it was $10. I don't really see people buying it, to tell you the truth. Doesn't mean much. I don't observe everybody in the world buying liquor. Just don't hear people talking about it. I don't get the impression that it's real popular. I'm talking about this because people probably overlook it. George Dickel, I don't really see people buying this. I don't get the impression that this one's necessarily really popular. It's well known. I mean, there's pockets of people that buy it, but to say it's like a huge seller, I don't get that impression. Now, I've heard the distillery tour is really, really nice. I would like to go. Uh, I went to the Barton 1792 distillery over the state line in Kentucky. That was nice, but that's another one. I don't. Do you ever see people buying Barton 1792 whiskey? You see it around, but maybe 10 years ago it was a little bit more popular. I don't know. I don't track these things. I mean, some things you just see all the time people buying. Seagram's VO. I mean, they always got a promotional in the paper for that. So you know it's moving. And every bar room got it. Like every bar room I ever go to has got it. Jack Daniels, they always have promotions for that. And every bar room in America and the world has it. And Jim Beam and so forth. So there's some brands you just know are popular because they're always being discussed. And there's other brands that are kind of on the shelf, but maybe ain't much happening with them. Okay, smells like Flintstone vitamins. That weird minerality of George Dickel. Now notice neither one of these claim to be straight whiskey. They just claim to be whiskey. So could they have flavoring added or coloring added? It's possible. It's possible. I'm not saying that it is happening. I'm saying it's possible. If you read your laws and your regulations, it's definitely possible. And you can't say I'm wrong because I didn't say they had it. I say it's possible. Now, am I wrong that it's possible? No, I'm not wrong. It is possible. These are not straight whiskeys. They're not straight bourbon whiskeys. They're just Tennessee whiskey. End of sentence. This one has a lot more of that vitamin. My grandmother used to take vitamins like constantly. She only lived to be 89. But I just remember that aroma, that smell, like it smelled like a health food store, her kitchen. And I've been to health food stores. They smell. This is a whiskey that smells like GNC. This one smells more whiskey-ish, but it does have a little bit of that health food store aroma. Let's go with the taste. Cheers. I could open those shades, but it would let in heat. It's kind of overcast. I was going to edge the yard today, but it was too wet. I did do the sidewalk edging, because it wasn't wet enough for that, to prevent that. But tomorrow I'll try to mow the lawn. I guess I could have mowed it today, but I'm not going to cut wet grass. I'm not doing it. I can't stand cutting wet grass. If I'm mowing the lawn, it's got to be dry. I don't mind the heat. I'll do it at noon if it's sun glaring down on me, and it's 93 degrees. I'll do it because it's just the grass will mow so much better. Just sweat buckets, but hey, I don't mind. I'm not doing wet grass. This is a much more like whiskey taste than whiskey. You got your corn, your fermented distilled corn, your wheat, I guess, and your rye. I mean, they're saying corn, wheat, and rye. Obviously, they know what they're putting in it. It's just mostly their corn flavor, charred oak, those corn nuts that you can buy in the bag. They're not real popular anymore, but they used to be really big on the store shelves. They were crunchy. I always liked them. I don't know. Guess things cycle in and out. I did try the Sprecher ginger ale. It was good, but it was kind of bland. and a lady at work was drinking ginger ale, and I told her, you ought to try Sprecher. They're really more craft style and everything. And then I sipped it yesterday, and I said, this stuff's bland. So when I see her tomorrow, if I see her at work tomorrow, I'm going to say, hey, don't get the Sprecher. It's bland. It's not that it had a bad taste. It just didn't have much taste. It just didn't have much flavor. So it was like, this can be no better than a B. Good, but I'm thinking, I know Seagram's and Canada Dry got to have more flavor than that. Although they usually use high fructose corn syrup. But still in all, probably got more flavor. I have seen that there is apparently Canada Dry real cane sugar versions on the shelf, but try finding it. Just you just can't find it. We did get the Dr. Pepper real cane sugar here, but it only lasted a few months and never saw it again. All right, I think this is the George Dickel. Craft Beer Tastic says Sprecher root beer is solid. I agree with that. I was really pleased with really everything I've tried from them, but just I found the ginger ale was a little bland. I did see Frosty Strawberry soda pop yesterday, and then I didn't buy it. It's like I was going to buy it and I forgot. Now I got to go back all the way back to Winn-Dixie and get it tomorrow. Well, it's only half a mile away. Big 24-ounce bottle for $1.25. I can't really take issue with that. I've had all the other Sprechers that they have in stock over there. That's from Detroit, Michigan. It's and some contract brewing also of those sodas. But I didn't have the strawberry yet. They use real cane sugar, natural flavors. Frosty. What they introduced it in 1939. I know it's big up there, Illinois, Michigan, and everything, but it must be big here because I see a lot of stores selling it. So boom. All right. Is it going to pair well with vodka? The Kamchatka vodka. I don't see why not. But I still have the Yarritos pineapple, which I'm going to do with the Kamchatka. I did it with the Vodovska and the Blanton's. The not Blanton's, the Colson's made by Barton. Yeah. And then I found this other weird Sprecher. It was like black cherry and vanilla or something. I don't know. It's like a smash up, a combo. I have it I bought it at $1.25 treat. It caught my eye. I was like, whoa, what's this label? And it was like black cherry and vanilla or something like that. I was like, woof, I'm buying it. And their beer is really good. Hey, Sprecher, if you're watching, and I know you're not, but if you're watching, why don't you send your beers down here? Enough's enough. Your soda pops are good to very good or even excellent. Fine. We want the Pilsners. We want the Europe. We want the lagers. We want the stouts and the porters. Now, my friend David, we were talking on the phone before this hangout. He predicted that the Dickel would win. Now, I wasn't so sure. I didn't make a comment. I just said, oh, yeah. But in my opinion, the Nelson's Green Brier is the winner. And I can't say price to price because I don't know what the normal price for Dickel should have been when they were producing this. I know it wasn't $7.99 a liter. I have enough sense to know that. But I can go by what Dickel usually sells for, and it's a lot more than that. Do I like it? I do like it. Would I recommend it? I would recommend it. Unfortunately, you'll probably never see it. It's one of those that's disappeared forever and ever and ever until it comes back. Watch them come out with it back, bring it back tomorrow, you know. But for a 3-year age, Tennessee Sour Mash whiskey, 80 proof, that tastes like Flintstone vitamins. I like it because I like Flintstone vitamins. I give it oh heck, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. What the hey? What the what? 9 out of 10. It's good. I got it right. I got it right. But you know, it's easy though. I can't say too much because you never confuse George Dickel with anything else. You know why? Because it doesn't taste like anything else. It's unique. And you say, well, I never had Flintstone vitamins. I don't know what that's supposed to taste like. They're very mineral. They're like, how do you describe it? Well, you could go to the store and buy them. If you look on Bayer or just type in Flintstone vitamins, it'll probably link it to Bayer Company, Bayer, German company. They make all kind of stuff. And I think they always made Flintstone vitamins. They probably have a locator tool, and you might be shocked. You're like, that's right by my house. I never knew they had this. Oh yes. You take one a day. It's a vitamins chewable. It's for little kids, you know. No, I mean, but it has a unique composition to it. And people that have tasted George Dickel, including myself, over the years, say, you know, it just jogs your memory and makes you remember when you were 7 years old. And you're like, I remember those. And me and my sister, we'd always fight over the grape. We always wanted grape. I don't know. We would like the grape flavor the best. So we would get into these big conflicts over it. And I'd be like, I got the grape. I got the grape. Ah, ha, 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 ha. And she'd be like, you cheated. And I was like, how did I cheat? I just tipped the bottle and grape came out. And you got, whatever, pineapple. It's okay. And there would be some like big fight over something so trivial, you know. But anyway, anyhow, I can remember sitting at the counter, because they had like a bar, but there was no liquor on the bar. But I remember sitting there drinking Peppo in 1972, 73. And that like weird pink steel can label. My mother would let us drink that like once a month. She probably bought a 6-pack, so it probably took us 3 months. It probably took me 6 months to drink it. My sister was a baby, so I knew she wasn't drinking it. But she would let us drink one 12-ounce can. You pour it in a glass. Peppo. Remember that, Peppo. It tasted good. But then they had a lawsuit, so all of a sudden, in 1974, it was no longer called Peppo. It was called Mr. Pibb. But I never made the connection at the time. I just thought Mr. Pibb was, you know, I wasn't sitting there tracking Peppo. I didn't know what happened. I was like, what's... And then I had a friend of mine. He moved here from Shreveport, and he was saying, oh, we drank Mr. Pibb. We drank Mr. Pibb. And I was like, Mr. Pibb? This is like 5 years later. I'll say, Mr. Pibb? I'm trying to figure out what that was. And he was like, well, they sell it at Sonic. This is 1978, 77, 78. He said, they sell it at Sonic. So that's Sonic. Room 237. So then they still sell it at Sonic in 2025. It's called Pibb Extra. It's a new and they claim improved version. Pibb Extra. So yeah, I can remember these details. Okay, I remember you saying it tastes like Wings and Pizza said, I remember you saying it tasted like Flintstone vitamins in past challenges. Yeah, it does. It's just like a reoccurring thing, you know. Wings and Pizza says Flintstone vitamins always tasted well water to me. Well water. Well, does well water have a lot of minerality to it? Now we get well water. My faucet water here, if I turn on the faucet, we get it from a well. Whereas most of this area gets their water from the Mississippi River. Like most of the towns, their water comes from the Mississippi River. St. Louis, Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser, their water is Mississippi River water. And I don't know how you feel about drinking that, but that's where it comes from. But my town gets water from a well in Rudock, Louisiana. Population 0. Like literally no one lives there, but there's a water treatment plant and a boat launch. There used to be a town, but it was destroyed by a hurricane and never really, but didn't come back. There was a few houses, but now it's gone. So if you get off exit at Rudock, you'd be like, where's the town? See a boat launch. there is no town. Okay, so but our water, I don't know, it's hard to figure out because our water is very soft. So I don't know if the well water is usually hard water because our water is very soft. Like you could take a bar of soap, like say Zest. You're never clean till you're zestfully clean, right? Zestfully clean. So you take a washed cloth, and you take Zest, and you like scrub it a little bit. You could clean your whole body with that one little brush off of the soap bar. Oh, I'm sorry, Zest say they're not soap. There's something different, but everybody knows it's soap. But it'll just like go on and on and on, like the suds never stop. And some people like Robert, the whiskey scout, say he don't like soap like that. He doesn't like that kind of water because it'll take you all day to get the soap off. He likes the hard water. Now, if you go to some other parts of Louisiana, you use a whole bar of soap to take a shower. You use one bar of soap to take a shower because you can't get any suds. But around here, it's like soft water. It's like, oh. You take a little bit of Dawn, make 1/4 squirt, like a 1/4 squirt of soap, and then spray it with the hard spray, and your whole kitchen to be full of suds. Like with Cousin Oliver and Brady Bunch or Theodore and Leave It to Beaver. But yeah, it's crazy, you know, the water composition is very important in beer and liquor. The soft, medium, and hard water is very important because it could affect the composition of the liquor. All right, so the clear and present winner, I think. Well, actually, I think I don't know because it's a personal preference thing. It's like, well, they're both quality. So can I tell them apart? Yes, easily, you know, relatively easily. But can I say which one is better? No, I don't feel comfortable saying that. So they both have like some unique qualities. So I don't feel comfortable saying one's better than the other. Craft Beer Tastic says Genesee Ruby Red Kolsch should be out right about now. Solid summer offering. I believe that, but unfortunately, Louisiana gets no Genesee beers. No Genesee beers. No Genesee beers. So, can't do it. Hey, Mr. T, says Jean Pierre, laying down, watching the show. I got benchmark 8. Benchmark old number 8 to sip on. Oh, Jean. Now, if you feel like it, you could bring that Friday for Fango Friday. And I've got a big jug bottle of Benchmark Old Number 8, McAfee's Benchmark Old Number 8, entered in 1968. And I do think it's been updated. I think they changed it, but I can't prove it. But I think Sazerac changed it because Sazerac bought that from Seagram's in 1989. Now, Seagram's mark, and they were saying this is a new bourbon for the 1960s. It's so, you know, cool, and you'll have a swagger if you drink it and all this. But then maybe they weren't too happy with how it was doing. Well, they were really looking to get out of the liquor business, the people that owned the company. So they sold Benchmark and a whole bunch of other products, including Fireball, and Eagle Rare to Sazerac in 1989. And then Sazerac still sells Benchmark. And oh, that stuff sells like crazy. Benchmark is a hot item. You say, why do people buy it? Well, I guess they like it, you know. I guess they buy it because they like it. Okay, so that's it. You should stop up to Pittsburgh for a Pirates game in PNC Park and pick up some Genesee. Well, interesting that you mentioned that. I went to see the Pittsburgh Pirates at their new ballpark in 2004 with a friend of mine, Paul, and I was very impressed. Went back 10 years later, 2014, 11 years ago. It seemed like it was kind of like getting a little rundown because they made everything black. Everything was black, you know, pirate black, but it was under that sun, you know, the sun is bleaching it, so it was all looking faded. I was like, oh well, I don't know what it looks like today. But I was very happy with both visits, 04 and 2014. And I didn't pay a lot for the tickets. Can't speak about now, but back then the ticket prices were very fair. The parking, we parked for, let's see, 2014 I parked for free. Won't tell you where. Yeah, I won't say where because I don't want to give it away, but I did park for free. When I went back, my car was still there, so I was pleased. In 2004, we parked downtown Pittsburgh because we wanted to walk around the city, you know, and look at, we never been to Pittsburgh, you know. So we paid, it was only like $12 for the whole day. I mean, I'm serious. So we were like very fascinated by Pittsburgh, William Pittsburgh, and yes, it was very nice. Not a bad seat in the ballpark, says Crapper Tastic. There's no doubt about that. Beautiful ballpark. Absolutely fantastic. Probably a sketchy place, laughing out loud, says Wings and Pizza. Well, I don't know if it was a sketchy place, but like I said, I was glad when my car was still there when I got back and I wasn't killed on the way to the car. But you can take that how you want. All right. Well, okay. So the winner, there is no winner, but I'm glad I was able to tell them apart. Do I think most people would confuse these two? Honestly, I don't believe so. No, I don't see that happening. All right, so 2 Tennessee whiskeys, sour mash. Yeah, but they're not really that similar in flavor. Okay, y'all take care and see y'all for the next time when I return for another taste challenge.